Howdy, Cult of Copy members, now and future. This is Monday's episode of Eat Me, which is our lunchtime weekday marketing moment live video stream thingy, I guess. This is episode 21, and today we are going to be talking about questions you can use to find the story that you can build around any piece of information you want to convey. Why do you want to turn raw information into a story? People like stories. Everything is a story. Stories are the thing that people consume more than anything else. Almost all entertainment is wrapped around stories. Even music of the popular variety, almost all popular music has lyrics, and those lyrics most frequently tell stories. Books, movies, TV shows, all story-based. Even reality TV shows are edited to bring the story out of them. So people love stories. Stories make your information more easy to consume, easier to remember, more likely to be retold and shared with people. The benefits are boundless. So how do you find the story about a piece of information that you can wrap around it? If you've ever taken any classes in journalism, this will seem familiar to you because it's a trick that they use to teach journalists how to find the key pieces of information that they want to have about any given article. Briefly, they usually say it's who, what, when, where, why. The 5 W's. In a marketing context, I teach those 5 in a variety of ways. I just did a webinar where I talked about how I use them to create customer avatars and selling personas by extending it. In those scenarios, I extend it to 7 questions. So in addition to who, what, when, where, why, I add how and what if. So let's dive into a little bit of more detail in that. When you have a given piece of information and you want to turn it into a story, hold on there, I had a battery warning. You have a piece of information, you want to turn it into a story. So stories have 4 factors that identify them as a story. You have characters, you have a setting, you have a conflict, and you have a resolution. So if you look at those list of questions, you want to know who are the characters? Who does the story happen to? If you have a piece of information, who discovered it? How did you discover it? That means whoever invented it is a character. People who oppose them can be characters. People who help them can be characters. Characters abound. People want a human angle on any piece of information. That's a good start. What is the conflict that led to this piece of information? Any piece of information doesn't give any meaning, it doesn't give any urgency, it doesn't give any action to the reader. But if you make it have to do with a conflict of some kind, either a conflict against their own interests as the reader, or even just a conflict of the characters involved in the story that are related to the piece of information, a conflict adds drama. Drama creates interest and curiosity to find out how things turn out. Where and when are questions that have to do with the setting. So where is often just to give people context of where things are happening. When is particularly interesting when you're talking about persuasive uses of this, because you can have a historical context where the whole of the story happened in the past and now we're benefiting in the present. Or you can have a context where the story is happening in the present and what we're talking about is affecting the outcome of the future. But you want to know when and where the story that you're trying to tell is taking place. So we did who, what, when, where. Why is a really important one when you're using this stuff for persuasion. And the why usually is what's in it for the audience, right? They want to know right away what's in it for them. I open most of these videos with telling you exactly what's in it for you. That's why you should watch the video. That's why the story I'm telling you exists. How is usually really good if you build an audience around educating people about tactics and factors inside a particular niche, right? So how is what you're telling them going to be useful to them? How can they use it? That's an important one. And then finally, the last question to find the story around any piece of information is what if? Now, there's a positive what if and a negative what if. The positive what if is, what if you do what this article or whatever it is recommends that you do? Paint a lovely picture of the future that will help them see and imagine what it is that could be theirs. And then the negative what if is, what if you don't do what the article suggests? And then you do the opposite. You paint a negative of all the bad things that are going to happen to them if they ignore your sage wisdom and beneficial advice. That's it for today. That's how to get stories out of any piece of information so you can wrap it up in a little container, make it interesting, attractive, easy to remember, fun to share, etc., etc. Once again, it is who are the characters, what is the conflict, where and when does the story take place, why should the reader care about what the story is, how can they apply it to their lives, and what if they do, what if they don't. That's it. Wrap those around and make your stories more interesting. That's it for today. This has been Colin Theriault, the Reverend Dr. Sir Colin D. Theriault, Pontifex Maximus of the Cult of Copy, here for episode 21 of Eat Me. If you like this, click follow, leave me a comment, click a button, like the page. That'll make sure you get notifications of new episodes. Or if you just want to make a mental note, join us every weekday here at noon Eastern for new episodes every weekday at noon Eastern. That's it. See you later. Bye.